Hi, I'm DiNicola with Behringer, and I'm here at Sweetwater today to talk to you about the Firepower FCA interfaces. The FCA interface series is our USB and FireWire recording interfaces for your computer. So you can use either USB or FireWire. So let's start by taking a look at the smaller FCA610. The FCA610 features two microphone inputs on combo jacks, and actually these are our Midas designed microphone preamps. So we have some really good sounding preamps in here. And again, you can also plug a line level signal in here. On these first two channels, they're really flexible. We have a phantom power switchable on both of these. We also have a high pass or a low cut filter for these two mic preamps. And we have a high Z mode, so you can plug your guitar directly in here, switch it into high Z mode, and it acts like a direct box for you. In addition to these two line inputs, we also have two more line inputs on the back, which we'll get to in a second. Taking a look at the rest of the front panel here, you'll notice that we have not one but two headphone outputs, which is really neat. There's actually an option on here where you can switch the second headphone output to come from outputs 3 and 4 on your computer. And what that means is that you can set up a separate cue mix for the second headphone output. The first headphone output will just also mirror what's coming out of your studio monitor. So you can have two separate headphone mixes going on here at the same time. We also have a mixed balance control here, and that's to control the direct monitoring on the FCA, so you can directly monitor what's coming in here without worrying about latency coming from your computer. And you can use this knob to mix that direct signal with what's being played back from the computer. Finally, we have some LED indicators here. These are dual colors, so they'll be green to indicate signal, but they'll also turn red to indicate clip. And of course, we have a master volume control here at the end for your studio monitors. Taking a look at the back panel of the FCA610, we'll start off by finding our other two analog line inputs. So line inputs 3 and 4 appear back here. Next, we have our 8 analog line outputs, outputs 1 and 2 labeled for connection to your studio monitors here. We also have digital I/O, so we have SPDIF or optical inputs for 2 channels in and out digitally. So that's where you get your 6 inputs and 10 outputs total. We also have, again, of course, the USB and FireWire connections here, and we have MIDI I/O. We also have a connection for the included power supply, but that's only needed if you're using this in USB mode. When in FireWire mode, you'll be able to get bus power from the computer, and the power adapter will not be needed. And for when you need more inputs and outputs, we have the big brother, the FCA1616. The FCA1616 features a lot of the same features you see on the FCA610 as far as monitoring and headphone outputs are concerned, but now we find 4 Midas designed mic preamps rather than 2. Those 4 mic preamps have the same options as the FCA610, including the high pass filter, the high Z mode, and the switchable 48 volt phantom power. For the rest of the I/O, let's take a look at the back panel. So starting over here, we have our additional 4 line inputs, so that's going to combine with the 4 inputs on the front to give you 8 analog line inputs here. We also have 8 analog line outputs. And then when we get to the digital section over here, we now have ADAT inputs and outputs, which gives you 8 channels in and 8 channels out digitally for your total of 16 channels in by 16 channels out. So you can combine this with a product such as the Behringer ADA8000 or ADA8200 to get a total of 12 mic preamps and 16 outputs from the FCA1616. Next, you'll also notice, of course, we have FireWire and USB connectivity, and we have MIDI I/O on the back of this as well. And we have the same option here regarding power, where you can either plug this in USB mode or run it off of bus power in FireWire mode. This is the Behringer Firepower series of USB FireWire interfaces. If you have any more questions, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.